Hello and welcome to the last video in my free Tarot for Beginners course. If you've just found me, the course is not all over for you. I'll make sure there is a link in the description box to join us, connectwithyourdeck.com/beginners. It's free to join us, and also to the playlist, so you can go and find all the videos and watch them all from the beginning. There's 13 of them, so that you can work your way through the course. If you're new here, I write courses about the tarot that teach you the tarot and other esoteric topics. And how I work is, if you would like to support me, I have a workbook that goes with the course. This one, here's the one you can buy on Amazon. I also have it in a GoodNotes version you can use on your tablet or iPad. And I also have an instant download version that you can just print at home. So that's a way to support my work. Or if you just found me and you don't want to lose me, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up so that you never miss another one of my downloads. So we are going to be talking about reading the tarot. That's our last topic. And what I'm going to show you is the Celtic Cross. That is what I'm going to teach you. It's in here. And that's what we're going to do when we turn the camera around. And I'm going to show you the layout. There's so many versions of the Celtic Cross online. So many versions. I've gone back to Arthur Waite's version. I've made one tiny change that I think makes more sense to me, and I've explained that in the book why I've made that change. But other than that, we are doing Arthur Waite's version of the Celtic Cross. He is attributed as the person that invented the Celtic Cross, but he says it's a much older spread, but he doesn't really talk about where it came from. So we're just going to say he did it. And I'm going to teach you how to read it and how to not just read the cross and the staff, but also how to link the cards in to get more meaning if you want to read a structured reading. And I actually think for some people, I know for me, a structured reading was so helpful when I first started to read, because it gave me something to hang my hat on, kind of like I had a process when I was reading that I could say, okay, I know I do this bit first, then this bit, then this bit, then this bit. Now, other people that read intuitively would say, no, just go with whatever. But especially if you're reading for someone else and you've got them sitting in front of you, it can be really nerve-wracking, especially if they're, what are you going to tell me? What are you going to say? And that pressure can be really, it can make you very anxious. And then if you don't have a nice process to follow, it can really make you start to draw blanks, and that can make you feel even more anxious. So having all of this knowledge of the cards, I've found has been so helpful to me, because it just gives me something to get a start. And then once I start to talk and I get a start, I start to relax, and then the messages come through. I do have another journal that I've written that is even more detail on the Celtic Cross than what is in this Tarot for Beginners book, and I will link that in the description box for you as well if it's something that might interest you. And I am going to be doing two video series, one that I've already talked about on the general meanings of the cards, and I'm going to talk about the meaning of the card generally, and then how you would apply it in a relationships context, in a family context, past, present, all that sort of thing. And I'm also going to do a series where I actually take, say, the full card and put it in different positions on the Celtic Cross and show you, as we scramble the cards up, how I would read that card, to give you just a little bit of some examples of how to read. So that's what's coming, which is quite separate to this course. So this is just an overview. I'm going to give you an overview of the Celtic Cross. I'm going to show you the workbook, and then hopefully very soon I'm going to start filming the next series. I'm going to be, at this point in time, I'm not sure or not, but we're looking at a house to move. So I might be moving house in the middle of all of this. So I'm pushing really hard to get these videos done for the Tarot for Beginners course, so that's all set up, and there might be a couple of weeks delay. For those of you who've come to the party late, they'll all be there and you can just go and enjoy the videos. And know that as you watch my channel, that helps my channel. It helps me, I know everybody's, I really feel like everybody's in a different place in their life, and some people can buy a journal and it doesn't bother them. I've had some people go into my Amazon shop or my Etsy shop and just go click, 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 click and buy everything to support me. But other people can't afford to do that, and that's fine. If you sit and you watch the YouTube videos and you watch the advertising, that supports me. There's so many different ways you can support me. Talk about me to other people. Make me famous. One day it'll happen. There's so many ways you can support me. So I really appreciate every single one of you. I've absolutely loved doing this course, and I'm going to spin the camera around now before I get a bit emotional, because I always do when things finish. And I'm going to explain the Celtic Cross spread to you, which is the Rider-Waite-Smith spread and one of the most famous spreads that I think you should know about, which is what this course is all about. So rather than me sitting here carrying on, let's spin the camera around and get started. Welcome to week 12, the last video in my free Tarot for Beginners course. If you've just found me, I'll put a link to the playlist down in the description box, so you can find your way all the way back to the beginning and start watching from the beginning, because then all of the videos will make a whole lot more sense. If you would like to be part of my course, connect with yourdeck.com/beginners. It's free and you get lots of extra goodies, and you also get reminders to watch the videos, and we've got our Facebook community to discuss all of the different activities that we will be completing as part of getting an overview of the tarot. This workbook that I'm going to refer to takes you through the Celtic Cross. Now, there is also a video that I have made where I actually read the Celtic Cross and take you through the whole spread in great detail. And there is another book that I've written that goes into heaps of detail about the Celtic Cross. It's actually a whole book on the Celtic Cross. So I'll put a link to that as well in the description box. If you are interested in purchasing the workbook, this is a book in your hands version that you can get on Amazon. There is also a print on demand, print through your own printer, write all over it, bind it, do whatever you like version. And there is also this Good Notes version that is a PDF with hyperlinks that you can use in your iPad with Good Notes or in your tablet with Noteworthy. So any PDF editing software will work with this particular journal, because especially when you see the pages in the reading section, you can write all over it using your Apple Pencil or your tablet pencil. You can put images in there, you can do all sorts of things. And the beautiful thing about having it electronically is it saves the trees. There's no mess. You can save it up in the cloud forevermore, and it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. So I'm going to use the Good Notes version because I'm really enjoying it. And I want to show you my section on reading. The key to reading the tarot is thinking about it like telling a story about life. So the first part just talks about telling the story, and there's 3 layers to telling the story. You want to form a relationship with each tarot card that reflects your own personal story. And I have got learning materials that help you with that. I have got a course that precedes this one called Connect with Your Deck that gives you a whole process on how you can make an intuitive connection with each and every tarot card. And I also have another course that's actually a challenge called A Card a Day. And that course has a great big workbook, which I can show you because it's over here in my stuff. Here it is here. It has a great big workbook, which is also in GoodNotes format. I'll show it to you. Looks like this. And it has the grooviest pages that you can use to record your readings, do a little bit of symbolism, and get a sense of the cards. So that is the Card a Day challenge. Big, thick workbook. And it's one of those, it actually makes the course really accessible because you can pick it up and put it down, particularly if you buy the workbook. But even the GoodNotes journal's good because it just tracks where you're up to, and if life gets in the way, you just pick up where you left off. So the idea is to form a connection with each card so that you can have a personal story connected to that card to help you remember the meaning. And also, if you're reading for yourself or you're reading for someone else, it becomes super clear what is the message that you are going to be sharing with the person that you're reading for. So once you've mastered the cards individually, and be patient with yourself, there's 78 of them. I still have times where I look at a card and go, whoops, what happened there? I'm drawing a blank. It just happens. Then learn to tell a story between 3 tarot cards, and then to tell a story across a whole tarot spread. Now we're going to use the Celtic Cross because that is a spread that was created by Arthur Waite. It's such a universal spread, and I think it's an excellent beginner's spread. And then from there, you can do whatever spread you want. Whoops, what happened there? So telling the story in the cards, I've suggested here 3 tarot cards. So you would be looking at past, present, future, situation, obstacle, advice, mind, body, spirit. So you usually start in the center. The center is usually the person. So the present, what's happening for that person right now, what's happening for them, what has happened to them in the past that's caused them challenges in this particular situation, and what do they want to do in the future? Situational, what is the challenge that is the question right now? What is it that they're working on? What have they done in this situation in the past, and what would you advise them to do in the future? If it's an energy reading, what's their body energy now? What have they been thinking about in the past to do with this situation, and what is their intuition or their spiritual guidance moving forward? So you can learn to interpret those 3 card readings in a way that's helpful for you, because when you look at a really big reading, and sometimes there's readings that have all of the cards in the deck, all 78 cards. If you can break that reading down into 3 card reading steps, you can read any spread at all. So the most important thing is looking at how you ask the question. The tarot wants to tell a story, and in my first course, Connect With Your Deck, which you can find at connectwithyourdeck.com/course. It's a free course. I go into a lot of detail about how to ask the tarot the right question. And if you ask the question, am I going to meet a new partner or not? Yes or no? That doesn't give you room to learn what it is that you need to do to make sure that you're ready to recognize when that new partner comes into your life. So we use open questions. It helps you to explore what it is you need to know. So, for example, a good question would be, what is my biggest challenge this year? And let the tarot tell you. So a past question might be, how have I managed challenges in the past? A present question might be, What is my biggest challenge this year? The future, how should I manage big challenges in the future? And then bring the meanings together. So talk about the present, talk about the past, and talk about the future. And then we layer the meanings into bigger spreads. So this is a breakdown of the Celtic cross. So there's you, and then Arthur Waite had 2 cards over the top. Normally we only have 1 card over the top, what crosses you, here. But Arthur Waite had 2. He had what covers you. It's a second card over the first card that gives you more information about your unconscious obstacles. And then you have what crosses you, what covers you, or what crowns you, or your conscious, what is beneath you, or your unconscious, what is behind you. This is the past energy that resides within you. And then number 6 is what is before you. This card gives you insight into the next steps of your journey. Now, with this particular spread, Arthur Waite, I'm looking for the book. Here it is. It is all in this book, The Pictorial Key to the Tarot. This is where Arthur Waite talks about the Celtic cross. Now, how he organised it was to have card number 6 here for the future, what is before you, and what is behind you, card number 5 for the past. And I looked at it and I said, I can't read it like that. I'm sorry, Arthur. I want to be true to your Celtic cross, because there are a zillion versions of it out on the web and in books, let me tell you. But I like to go back to the first person and learn from there. And then if you want to change it, you can. And already I've changed it, because to me, past on the left, future's on the right, reading across the page from left to right kind of thing. So that's the only thing I've changed. Other than that, it is exactly the same. Then we've got card number 7 here, which is you. This gives you insight on yourself and possible approaches. So this part of the cross is the present and the staff is the future. So number 7 is you and possible insight into what you could do in the future. 8, your house. 9, your hopes and fears. And 10, what will come. So it's a really nice spread. And then I've got descriptions in here of each one of the positions for you. And then we start to read the cards. So I've given you some ideas on how you might read each section of the spread, bringing together the cards in 3 and 4 card readings. Again, this is brief to get you started, because this is a Tarot for Beginners course. If you want more in-depth detail on the Celtic Cross, there is my Celtic Cross workbook, which has all of this and more on how to really get the most out of the Celtic Cross and get yourself into a rhythm when you're reading it. Reading the staff, which is so you're doing a present reading, you're doing a future reading, bringing it all together. And then I've got a really nice worksheet for you that enables you to actually go through and look at each section of the cross and just start writing. I always think of The Artist's Way, this book, when I'm thinking about writing about anything. This is Julia Cameron's book called The Artist's Way. It's a brilliant, brilliant book on creativity and writing. I would strongly recommend. It's one of those books that's just wonderful to read. And just start writing. That is my strongest recommendation, and it will start to flow and it will start to come together. So I've got those pages for you to use to actually work on the Celtic Cross. I've got a whole video you can watch where I've actually done a whole reading for you on the Celtic Cross. So I'm not going to do that again here. I'm going to put a link to it in the description box and in the comments for you to actually go over and read and watch that video. And I have got a playlist coming where I'm going to do a Celtic Cross reading for every single card in the tarot deck. So I'm going to start in the center and I'm going to move the card across all of the placements on the Celtic Cross and show you how I would do that reading based on that card and the cards around it to give you a feel for how to read and give you a feel for the meaning of that card. So it's just another way of looking at the cards. So if you're late to the party, all of those things are probably done and on my channel. So go over and have a look, and I will make sure that they are linked up in the description box. If they're not, please join my community. I have what's called a members free library. And that free library has links to absolutely everything that I have done in there. So all you have to do is go into that page and you'll see the Celtic Cross training course. You'll see the Celtic Cross reading course, and they're all free. All the videos are free. The only thing to purchase for the training course is the journal. That's how I work. So I have a Facebook group. I have my videos that I do for you, my blog, which is coming. And the only thing I ask is, if you would like to support my work, is to buy the journal, because you'll get so much more out of the course if you do. So that's it from me. I do hope that you have enjoyed this course as much as I have enjoyed delivering it. I do hope you will come and be part of my community. connectwithyourdeck.com/beginners is to join the course. connectwithyourdeck.com/newsletter brings you into my community, and you'll receive all the emails and all the invitations to get all the free goodies in my community. So take care, and I hope to meet you and see you online. Bye-bye.